Okay, this is the first in the series of PM. Then I did the scratches all the way through the mix on their own track. I used individual tracks for almost every song, leading to a huge amount of tracks, around sort of 160, 170 mark for each decade. I basically decided to do it that way just to give me ultimate control over the volumes and EQs and effects and everything on every track. Obviously the music had a huge amount of BPM changes all the way through, so I tried to make that as smooth as possible. Here's one at the start where I found a section where I can change the BPM as smoothly as possible. This bit's probably the most famous scratch sample ever. It's the end of Fat Five Freddy Change the Beat. So, because I wanted to sort of keep it authentic, I let the song play exactly the same as it does on the original. There's no editing, it literally finishes and then it plays the scratch sample. So yeah, in case you didn't already know, that's where that sample originally came from. This is one of my favourite parts of this decade. It's a bit crazy. It's got a BPM change to scratch and 4 tracks playing at once. So, as you can see here, I used Double D and Steinsky, the Lesson 1, which is a pretty famous mix, one of the really early ones from 1983 that used breaks and songs from around that era. How we come to So that gives you the 3-2-1 part of the mix, and then it goes into like a really fast scratch that I did over the top using the end Just Feel It of the Hashim All Night Fish song, which is coming in at the same time as one of the 4 tracks that are in the mix. See how we come to Throughout the mix, I used different versions of just the one song that was in there to get it to do what I wanted. So here's an example where I've used white lines like the original version, and then it goes into a remix to give me the outro. In some places in the mix, I've actually ended up using 4 versions of just the one song just to get it to do what I want. Stuff like a cappella, an instrumental, an intro, or if I can find a version that just had an intro with it. This part of the mix is a reference to the bridge between Boogie Down Productions and MC Shan. Of hip-hop was, they both had different songs having a go at each other about where hip-hop began, so I chopped the 2 together. Right, this part drove me mad. I could not get Judge Jeff and the Fresh Prince Girls Ain't Nothing But Trouble to sit with anything. I'm not sure what it was about with the original, whether the sampling of that time was out of time or the drum had a swing of it or what it was, but whatever I did with it, it would not sit on the beat and just sounded like it was out all the time. So the workaround I came up with was going off and getting the original sample, which is the theme from my Dream of Genie, which is a 60s TV programme. So I found that original sample. And then I ran Girls Ain't Nothing But Trouble through Serato Studio to strip out the sample and just leave me the drum the drum beat and the vocals. It doesn't always work too well using that technique, but this time it worked really well. So it just gave me this. And then I put over the sample, which I warped as well to the correct BPM, and it went together really nicely and didn't cause me any issues with the drum beat sounding out and the mix sounding sloppy. And finally, this is another part I really like, one of my favourite parts of the 79 to 89 section of the mix. It starts with Chub Rock Caught Up. It's going to be a Chub Rock Caught Up. And then I bring in Big Daddy Kane Anchor half stepping over the top with the acapella of Slick Rick's Children's Story.
Once upon a time, not long ago, when people wore pajamas and lived life slow.
And then it goes into Mantronic's King of the Beats. And what I love about this is everything sits really nicely in key. It's a really nice flow to it.
Once upon a time, not long ago, wore pajamas and lived life slow. The laws were stubborn and justice.